Couch Talk. My name is Barbara G. And tonight I'm going to be interviewing a very special guest, a very talented young man. His name is Dr. Wayne Gilbert. He has played all over Europe. He's a professional musician, piano player, and an extraordinary singer. He's accompanied many, many singers, including me, over the years. And I'd like to interview him because today, or this week, he's going to be turning 50, and I'd like to know a little bit more about him. And I think you will too. I think you're going to enjoy meeting him. So why don't we get to meet Dr. Wayne Gilbert. Wayne, why don't you come in and sit down with me? Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good to see you, darling. Now tell me, first of all, tell me what it was like growing up. Where did you grow up, and what it was like in your family? What kind of family life did you have?
Well, I grew up in Roslyn, Long Island, which was a very rich town, and I didn't have money. My family didn't have money. It was more of a, I don't know, kind of an underdog situation. Most of the people were friendly in the cliques. So I guess I had to spend most of my time with my 88 friends, the Piano Keys, when I was growing up.
Okay. Now I'm assuming, how old were you when you first started playing the piano?
Well, there's video of me playing in 1969, which I guess I was about 2 years old at that point.
Really?
So that's...
Did you take piano lessons? Did someone teach you?
Very young. I took piano lessons, but I didn't stick with them because my piano teacher, although she was excellent at ear training, she wasn't she wasn't really good at performing. We'd have recitals, and she would be all over the place. And I kind of started teaching her how to play certain things, and at that point...
Wait, you were teaching her how to play?
Certain things, yeah, at that point, and it became...
So you were a child prodigy, more or less, in a way?
I would say lucky. I was lucky,
Did you read music? Did you learn how to read music?
I still don't read music. I still don't. No, it's completely by ear, and that's what I got out of my piano lessons. She would basically hold up things, cards, and say, is this a fourth, is this a fifth, and blah, 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 and I'd have to do that, and that's how I basically learned everything.
By ear?
Mm-hmm.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
My mom told me, I never heard you learn a song. I didn't understand that. She goes, you just pretty much has always played them. I never heard you sit and learn a song. So I guess it's just kind of lucky. I don't have other great skills. I can't draw. I can't dance. I can't do a lot of things, but this particular thing I'm pretty good at.
But the piano is your instrument.
Actually, I play every instrument.
You play every instrument?
Well, I'm not really good at the wind instruments.
What do you play?
Guitar. As a matter of fact, I did all the guitar playing on a bunch of my own CDs. I did all that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know. I'm not known for it.
No.
But yeah, I'm great in the studio when I have 85 takes to take something, to get it right. But live, I kind of leave that to my electronics now to simulate.
Master of everything.
No, just not good at the wind instruments for some reason. I never caught on with those. But drums, one of my best instruments. Bass, guitar.
Really?
All those, yeah.
Why don't you incorporate that when you play?
Because now with my keyboard, I can have all the instruments
that's right.
synthetic, and it's no longer a rinky-dink. It's completely, I don't know, it's state of the art. Better than CD quality sound on these things. The way they've actually recorded like saxophone or whatever. They've recorded a couple of notes each one, so it's basically a sample of a saxophone while I'm playing, and people are fooled.
Cool. And by the way, you come from a show business family, I understand. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, if you've ever heard of the Jolly Green Giant, or if you've ever heard of Charlie the Tuna, or if you've ever heard of Tevier from Fiddler on the Roof, you've probably heard of my cousin Herschel Bernardi, who was my grandfather's first cousin, and he was a very sweet man. He died pretty young, actually. But so my grandfather always idolized him, and he wanted to.
He was Charlie the Tuna and the Jolly Green Giant.
The voice of
No
all
kidding.
these people, yeah.
How wonderful!
Oh. That's right.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love
amazing.
that.
Pretty amazing. And he was very sweet to me the few times I got to meet him.
Really?
And my dad, of course, in show business. My dad was a radio talk show interviewer for 18 years, and then he owned a radio station. He actually got to interview Bob Marley. From what I understand, the very last interview Bob Marley ever did before he passed away.
Your dad did that.
Pretty amazing, yeah.
So you get that talent.
I got to meet a lot of people. through his interviews.
Okay, so where did you actually grow up? Okay, you grew up in Roslyn.
Correct.
Where did you go from there?
Strangely enough, the bass player in my high school band moved to a town called Macon, Georgia, where the Allman Brothers and Little Richard were from. And he said, "You want to come live in Macon?" And I laughed at him. But when he told me I could make enough in one night playing with this band, we're a really popular band, I could make enough to pay my rent and all my bills in just one night of play.
How old are you?
Well, it was 1992, so I guess 20, five, almost,
okay, 25. All right.
something like that.
So
Yeah.
what did you get in Macon? I mean, what kind
Well, we're
of...
a very popular band, an extremely popular
Okay.
band called Trunk Space. And we lasted a couple of years until, what happens to bands. They
How
just-
long were you there?
5 years. And it's not only, I didn't only do music in Macon, I actually opened a restaurant. Because living in New York when I was growing up, you can't live on just being a musician.
Well, most of them are waiters and waitresses, right?
Correct. So I was actually more of a chef working in different restaurants. I learned
So
the
you
trade.
can cook too?
Yes. That's one of
So
my
what do you
big
mean
passions.
you can't just... You have a lot of talent,
All
my
right.
darling.
You got me there. That's one other
You
thing I
see?
can do. Cook a lot better than I clean.
Really? Okay.
Yes, but I opened up a gourmet sandwich shop and I modeled it after the White House sub shop that's in Atlantic City. Because I remember
Oh.
that as a child as being my very favorite. It was amazing, that place.
Really?
The White House sub shop. So we went back there. My mom and I took a trip and we kind of I think, slipped the guy $10 to give us some secrets of his recipes. How thick you cut the cheese, what brand of cheese, blah, blah, blah. And we opened up this great sandwich shop.
Oh,
My
so you
brother-
did that with your mom?
my brother
With your
actually
brother.
followed me to Macon eventually.
Okay.
And then he actually, believe it or not, got a job on a TV show called Seventh Heaven on the WB network with, amazing.
Doing
He was,
what?
In the production staff.
Oh, okay.
And so he moved out to LA and I said, well, what am I going to sit here for? So I sold the restaurant and moved on. Moved to Florida.
See, I didn't know that. That's fantastic. Okay. And so from Macon you came to Florida, and then what? Well, I heard that you traveled in Europe, though. When did that come
Yeah,
about?
well, what happened was I got a job at Mars Music here when it was here, a music store, and I saw that there was an ad for Howl at the Moon, which is dueling pianos, which is a
Oh.
big thing. And that's where I learned to be, comical and more of an entertainer and come out of my shell. And I got an offer to move to a town called Scheveningen in Holland, and I couldn't resist it. I went and I moved to Holland, and that played out for a while, and then something went a little sour there, and one of the other piano players told me I should contact this agent. And this agent just sent me to about a dozen different countries to perform, 1 month at a time, which was amazing because I could taste all the foods and get to learn languages and really get culture. It's not like a one night here, one night there. It was a month in Germany, Norway, a month in, it was
Fabulous.
amazing. Switzerland, Austria, I just go on. It was quite a time in my life. But it got lonely after a while, making friends, because I'm kind of friendly. And then you make friends and then you leave after a month, and you may never see them again. Or
But a
contact
great
friends.
education.
Oh my God, yeah. Food,
Fantastic.
forget about it. Oh, with my passion,
Food is your passion.
Food and science are my real
Tell me about that.
science.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why more people are not fixated on how everything works. They just kind of accept it that it works, But it's so intricate. It's never ending about how the universe works, and it just fascinates me over and over again. I sit in my free time. I sit and I watch the Science Channel, learning about astronomy and.
But are you
talking to-
technical?
Technical, machine-wise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, there's this level, beginner, there's mediocre, there's a little above mediocre, and then there's amazing. I'm kind of above mediocre up there.
But didn't you help design your piano board? Your
As a matter of
keyboard?
fact, one of my greatest accomplishments is when I was working at Mars Music, the Yamaha representative came in with this keyboard, and it had like 5 buttons on it. And I said, why only 5 buttons? And he said, well, because people get intimidated when they see a lot of buttons. I said, but if you want to transpose something in the middle of a song, you got to go menu, global, yes, enter, yes, are you sure, yes, up 5, yes, blah, blah, and went on and on and on. And I said, wait a second, why are buttons going to be intimidating? If you sell it right, you see a button that says piano, oh, there you go, you press it and you have a piano sound. You want to transpose? Oh, a transpose key, bing, 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 bing. I said, I can sell these things. That was my other forte. I was a good salesman. But I came up with the design and pages for what eventually came out to be a prequel to the keyboard I have now. And I said also, why can't, with all these technologies of harmonies coming, why can't you put a microphone right into your keyboard and use the harmonies from what you're playing? And they basically stole my idea.
Oh.
But, yeah, that was not fun. That was not fun. But I did win 3 awards from Yamaha for my salesmanship at different times. So that's a little booby prize, I guess. But,
So you must have met some very interesting people in those years that you traveled and you've been. How long have you been in show business? More or less.
Well, I was in a high school band. I guess it got me started, but I was always, like I said, you can't make a living. So I was cooking and I was working in music stores. I was doing all kinds of things. I started working in an organ store, trying to integrate new technology into these organs now, because they weren't using pipes anymore. They were using electronics. And I got into that for a little while, and that was pretty interesting stuff. Yeah.
Wonderful. So who did you meet in your travels, talent-wise? I mean, famous people, celebrities. Who have you come across?
Funny enough, most of all the celebrities I've met have been an uncanny amount. And this is one of the craziest parts of my story. I've met them in the United States. I don't even recall meeting anybody over in Europe in all those times. But, my idol has been Todd Rundgren. And my father, of course, being the radio talk show host, was able to hook me up with a lot of people. And then I had another friend who was in the travel industry who used to work at the VIP sections in the John F. Kennedy Airport, and he used to help them out, so they would help him out. And I found myself backstage with Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, backstage with Roger Waters from Pink Floyd, Deep Purple, and it goes on and on and on. And I got to play with a bunch of people too. I guess Richie Canada was amazing. He was the saxophone player from Billy Joel's band, and I got to play with Liberty DeVito, who was the drummer from Billy Joel's band, along with Pat Travers, the famous guitarist. He's amazing. And then when I was playing at the Hard Rock, I got the chance to play with Billy Joel's full band without Billy, unfortunately. So I got.
So you were the piano player, while Billy was
one of
away.
the two. Yes, one of the two at the time. Oh my God, Rick Wakeman from Yes. I got to have dinner with him, and he's an idol of mine. I could just go on and on, but there's been crazy amount of people. And then,
who influenced you? I mean, who influenced you? Is there any one musician or any one person?
Well, my father was
Your dad?
very much into the Broadway thing when I was growing up.
Okay.
So I had to learn, all the Pippin songs and the Annie songs, but I don't know, something about Styx when they came out with Come Sail Away, that piano, it was so nice, so I started getting more interested. And then when I joined Failsafe, the band, my high school band, they were introducing me to songs by a band called Rush. And Rush is a Canadian band that has the most technically hard, impossible stuff to play. So I think that helped me a lot to
You like a challenge.
I was happy to be able to meet I don't know that I like challenge.
No.
I wouldn't necessarily just come out with that as a thing that I would say I love. Challenge. I like to be able to.
Well, you're a perfectionist, that's for sure.
In a way, that gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
Analytical. Yeah, the Virgo analytical thing. I guess through relationships. Why do you always gotta analyze everything? Why do you guys always analyze everything?
Oh, so that's the trait of the Virgo.
I guess it is.
Analytical. Okay.
I guess it is. And cheekbones. They say high cheekbones.
Really?
I don't know. What am I talking about?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break right now, and then we're going to be back with Wayne, Dr. Wayne, which I want to get into why they call you Dr. Wayne. So I will see you back in 3 minutes. Don't go away. Okay, so we're back with Dr. Wayne. Okay, tell me how you got that name, Dr. Wayne.
Strange story, but absolutely true. When I was working in, it's called Pizza Pub in Roslyn, I used to come in and everyone was upset they had all this work to do, but I was always like a good mood kind of person. And I would always like, cheer people up, say funny things. And one of the guys who owned the restaurant, he's like, you're always making people feel better around you. You're like a doctor. We're going to call you Dr. Wayne. We're going to call you Dr. Wayne. So they started calling me Dr. Wayne. Nobody else called me Dr. Wayne for many years until I was in Macon and Trunk Space had broken up and I decided I was going to start playing solo again. And what happened was I just didn't like the Wayne Gilbert Project. It just didn't, that's the name I was using. So I came up with different names, like Wayne Storm. It's kind of stupid, but I actually named the CD that. And then a few other things, and I passed it out to a bunch of people who used to come to see me play. And Dr. Wayne was amongst the names. Unanimous. No, Dr. Wayne, you are Dr. Wayne, the musical healer. Plus, Todd Rundgren had that album Healing, which was my favorite of all time. So I had the medical symbol on it, the Kadusha thing, and I decided to kind of borrow it as my symbol, and that's what.
I like that.
Musical healer.
The musical healer. That's
Musical
even better.
healer. Yeah.
So, okay. So, what was it like in your high school years? Were you very popular? I mean, being that you were so musical, were you in the band in high school?
You would have hoped it, right? But on paper, I was popular. In reality, not so much.
Really?
I was unanimously elected senator of it was called SWF, the school within a school section. I guess they had different senators for different sections of the school or groups or whatever. I was the president of the audiovisual club.
Okay.
And so I got, to learn about some of the technical equipment there. So I had status. I was also, believe it or not, teaching piano to students. While I was in high school, I was giving classes. And I also taught a course called The History of Comedy. So, status-wise,
did you want to be a comic? Is that another little thing that you
know what I wanted to be?
Tell me.
Judge. I don't know why. I always thought I was going to grow up and be a judge until I realized I had to, learn something. Right? And when that didn't work out, I thought, comedy maybe, because I'm more of an impressionist. I do impressions.
Do you?
Yeah.
Can you do an impression for us?
Oh, I guess Rodney Dangerfield is my big one. But give me a subject to talk about with him.
His wife.
My wife, you're kidding me? Oh, she can't cook at all. She made me toasted head bones, And I like that. So
that's very good.
I love Rodney.
You even look like him.
I thought about going out as a Rodney Wangerfield, but I never came off the ground. And I also thought about making a movie about him because he was amazing. I got to meet him too.
Yeah.
And what another interesting story. I basically snuck into a show at Westbury Music Fair in New York. Snuck in a tape recorder. After the show was raining out, my friend and I waited outside the back door to hopefully get a glimpse of him, maybe meet him. It was raining out, so there was no one there except one other guy. I see somebody look out, I guess it was his manager, and he said, Mr. Dangerfield would like to invite you in to say hello. Would you like that? Of course, that's what we're waiting for. So I go in and I said, hey Rodney, pleasure to meet you. And he said, hi, nice to meet you too. I'm like, who's that? That's not a guy. He was just like the most relaxed person. He resembled nothing of that crazy guy. But I was still, thinking, what am I going to say to Rodney Dangerfield when I'm in? I told him, Rodney, your show is worth every penny. We snuck in. And he said, funny. I said, by the way, do you have any great-great-great-granddaughters you might want to set me up with? Anyway, he appreciated it. And that was fun. So Rodney has been, I always thought he was just one of the very best and funniest, wittiest. So
it's such
a comedy. But when I did the Howl at the Moon thing and the dueling pianos, it's like you have to learn comedy because it's a lot of comedy, a lot of profanity, but a lot of comedy. Doing roasts, bringing brides up, and bringing guys up, and singing. He's always a woman for me, or whatever it is. So I had to do a lot of comedy. Now it always seems to come out, and in my shows somehow.
Okay, now you're going to be 50 years old. That's half your life is over.
More.
More than half.
I assume.
Okay, well now that people are
I assume, yeah.
living longer now. They're living to 100 years old easily.
Could happen.
Oh, for sure. So what have you learned in your 50 years? If you look back, what is the biggest lesson you can learn about people, about life?
It's amazing that we are all in the same place. We all came from the same place. I personally believe we're all going to the same place, because that makes sense, you know, progression. But even though we're all in the same place, we all see it completely differently. You have the Republican point of view, the Democrat point of view, this point of view, that point of view. We all digest what we see around us in a completely different way, and we all feel we're exactly right and the other people are exactly wrong. And I've only recently had to accept that live and let live, and not try to change everybody to my point of view all the time, because that does nothing but create animosity, even though I know I'm right.
There you go. Why don't you just agree to disagree?
Agree to disagree. It's hard. It's
You think so?
Extremely difficult to agree to disagree. Because something seems so obvious. Discrimination. Come on! I didn't ask to be born white. I didn't ask to be born whatever I am. I could have just as easily been born anything else. I could have been born a cockroach. I didn't ask for it. So why am I going to discriminate against somebody else because of what the universe decided to make them? It drives me crazy. That's one thing I cannot stand, is discrimination and hate. I just don't get it. Although, when I was younger, I was stupid and naive, just like a lot of people. It just took a while. You said, what have I learned? That's what I've learned. I didn't always know that, I guess.
If you had to change something about yourself, what would it be?
Well, I have changed a lot.
Well, I know you've lost a lot of weight.
I've struggled with weight.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
You know, I was the skinniest thing growing up. Skinny, skinny, skinny. I mean, skinny all the way. And I used to, you know, kind of say, I would never let myself get fat. Next thing I know, I'm 300 pounds. And my family is tormenting me, and anyone who cared about me was tormenting me. And I decided at one point,
Why do you think you put the weight on?
my passion for food is, you know, like Rodney Dangerfield said, oh, you're kidding, in my house, food has replaced sex completely. I even put a mirror over my kitchen table. You know, food is my big, big passion. And the more of it you get, the more it was like...
But you're also filling a hole, you know that.
Yeah,
It's
obviously.
an addiction.
It was. I actually am very proud of being, although I probably don't get the credit, or you see me once in a while sneaking an ice cream sandwich or whatever, I really have cut down on my sugar intake and portions.
So what are you eating now that's different than you ate before, that you could maintain
A lot of
your weight?
yogurt.
Because that's the hard thing to do, to
A
maintain.
lot of fruit, a lot of yogurt, a lot of smaller portions. Really, I was using those Slim Fast kind of shakes for a while, and I did very well with them because they curbed my appetite for a while. Very good with those. And now I'm hoping to stick to it, because I check my weight often, and I check my blood sugar here and there, and I don't want to, you know, get back there. I can't do that to myself ever again.
Diabetes runs in your family, is that right?
All of us.
Yeah. So
My
it's
father,
important.
my brother, and me.
Yeah.
They have it worse than I did, but still not good. It's not good in many levels.
Well, it's a good thing that you're starting it now, that you have a nice, long, good life ahead of you.
You know, it's funny. I've lost people who are spent all their lives eating healthy, all their lives drinking tea, and they've died young. And then you look at George Burns with his cigars, and you just gotta wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has anything to do with it. It might have all been written long ago, but I know that it's nice to be able to tie my shoes if I have laces. It's nice to be able to, you know, look down and know I'm a man.
That you could see your private parts.
Yes. It's a little bit, because for a while there I couldn't.
I know.
I had to get past my 4 chins and then forget about it. If I got past them, I still with the stomach. So that didn't work out.
Well, I hope you have another good 50 years ahead of
Thank you so much.
And it was a joy and a delight to
Thank you
meet
so,
you
so
and
much.
talk with you
Absolutely.
and speak with you.
Are you
Lots
kidding
of good
me?
luck.
The legendary Barbara G?
Hey, thank you,
Are you
darling.
kidding?
Thank
All
you.
you've done, I really appreciate you. asking
My
me to do
pleasure,
this.
my pleasure. And a happy, happy birthday, sweetheart.
Thank you very
And
much.
many
One more
more.
for the books.
Mwah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends another wonderful evening with Barbara G. This is called Couch Talk. And I look forward to interviewing another charming guest next week, another musician, or whoever comes our way. And stay tuned. Please come back and visit us. Good night now.
Wayne Gilbert is a session and touring musician. He plays many instruments, but is best known for his impressive keyboard stylings. He's played on tour and albums with top studio musicians such as David Ragsdale from Kansas, Tommy Goodwin from the Allman Brothers, Bob O'Day from The Temptations, and Liberty DeVito from Billy Joel, and guitarist Pat Travers. Along with international touring and studio work, Wayne has also produced 3 solo CDs, Wayne Storm, Dr. Wayne, and 5 Till Midnight. And here's more from Wayne's television appearances.
Wake up, there's deception all around you. Wake up before you're blinded by the lies. You know that there are more fish in the ocean. Let it go before she tries to swim away.
I am surrounded here by the medals and plaques of young Wayne Gilbert, who's red hot in his keyboard and singing world. Wayne, when did you stop playing in bands and decide to do these things by yourselves?
About 3 years ago, when I came up with the idea of Wayne Gilbert Project, where I would record every instrument and actually have it digitally pre-recorded on the stage.
It is Dr. Wayne Gilbert, formerly known as Dr. Wayne on the music circuit. How's it going?
It's going great.
It is great to have you here. We heard some of your music this morning. We're going to be hearing from Dr. Wayne all throughout the morning. You have a CD that's out right now. Tell us a little bit about it.
I know Wayne Gilbert. I met him the other night. Wayne, tell me a little bit about how long have you been doing this?
I've been playing my whole life, playing keyboards.
Said I'll go back over yonder. Way back over yonder, across the hill. Cause I know my baby don't love me. Well, I know her sister will.